welcome to another SH Figuarts review. This is version 2.0, or the real bone version of Kamen Kuuga Amazing Mighty. And yes, I will be comparing him to the original SH Figuarts version because I do have that, and it is a Tamashii Web exclusive, hence this cardboard transport box. So get that out of the way. And you have the actual box. Hooray! Standard new version box that they do with all of these figures. Got the SH Figuarts logo in silver there. Kamen Kuuga Amazing Mighty in silver there, and on the back it shows some poses that you can do, as well as a special photo they've taken there with the effects there. No, it doesn't have actually glowing eyes, although I wonder how hard it is to mod some lights into that. And if you open it up, there's some Japanese text saying, oh, it's all special and stuff, blah blah blah. Inside the top tray you get the actual figure itself, so remove that, and ooh, this is so nice. It is Kamen Kuuga after all, so it can't beat that. And the figure did have some plastic sheets protecting him, whatever. Instruction sheet here and a survey card, whatever, again. So it is this instruction sheet 54321 and the back of it 54321. And go nuts. You never win anything. And of course, since this is Kamen Kuuga, it doesn't really have that many accessories, so he comes with a lot of hands. So let's see, apart from the fist hands already on the... Oh, come on, don't fall out. Already on him, he has these hands, which include... let's see. Plastic stuck to me. Right. So the bottom one are bike and item holding hands. And we got some henshin hands, spray open hands, relaxed hands, and a thumbs up. A huge difference between the hands. The detailing, the print on there is just not there, and considering that the new figure has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra hands as the old one tended to combine hands and poses, so I'm guessing this one kind of grippy hand is sort of a bike holding hand, maybe these two grippy-ish hands so they can sort of hold items. Same shape hands as say the Titan form to hold the swords, and since the hand's not unique to particular form of Kuuga, Titan form had some trouble holding the sword or staff or whatnot. And these hands are not really henshin hands, but they still have the two fingers popping up a little bit, whereas the new one actually has proper henshin hands. And you see all of them have the logo actually properly painted on with proper details, and it's also etched in. There's actually a bit of a mold detail, whereas here it's all just flat because they just use the same mold between all of the Kuuga figures. The difference of the actual figure between new and old are night and day. Just like the previous other Mighty versions that they released, Mighty and Rising Mighty, they have the same amount of differences there. For example, this figure is taller than the old one because the proportions are much nicer. The belt is not attached or made out of hard plastics. It's not attached to any of the body, so you can actually remove it and put Decade's belt there, for example, if you want to. This one is an entire solid piece that's like attached to the hip piece, the crotch piece. The Grongi etching is much more detailed, and this Grongi bit there, the lower armor, is actually a separate piece, so it can move much better. Compound eye is much more detailed and finer than the old one. If I zoom in there, move in, there we go. There we go. So the old one is way more skinny as well compared to the new one. Yeah, horn. The gold color is much more accurate to the suit, whereas the other one is a bit too toyish. And hand articulation, actually, the joint does not get in the way of the suit design, whereas here they had to cut it for some reason. And going a bit lower down there, the detailing on the belt is also night and day. There's weathering effects. The silver color is much better, and the belt is smaller and more detailed. And there's also a weird, huge molding issue here with the old one, with just a weird circle dot there for some reason. And yeah, more detailing on the side of the belt as well. Moving lower with the Mighty Kick shin guard, Grongi again is much nicer. There you go. The only thing that really beats the new one is that the old one has die-cast feet, which makes standing here much better, and it also stands much better. Now, the old one isn't bad for when it was released. Of course, it's been many years since these two versions, and but the old one is still a nice figure. It was a nice figure for its time, And looking at it now, yes, it doesn't really compare to the new version, but if you don't have the new version, this is like a more of a budget version of this character now. Like, this is the kid line and this is like the proper line. So that's a thing. And yeah, oh well, it's a shame really, but ding. The articulation here is the same as all the other mighty versions of Kuuga, but in case you haven't seen them, double neck joints, so head goes back, head goes forward, head goes sideways, sideways, and full rotation here. Shoulder pads are attached to the arms to get out the way if needed, so arm goes up. Double ball socket joint for the shoulder. And full rotation here, double elbow joint. Very good articulation. Hand is on a board that's on a swiveling joint, so double swivel. Ball peg for the torso, up, back, forward, sideways, sideways. And leg goes up, back, sideways. So, double knee joint. And foot goes up, back, sideways, sideways. And toe joint goes about like 70 degrees, you would say. And these bits here are loose, so they get out of the way if you need them to. That's good. In case you didn't know by now, I'm a huge fan of Kamen Kuuga, so it was no brainer for me to get this. In fact, if they release every single form of Kuuga again under this new subline of SH Figuarts, I'd probably replace them all of the old ones. The old ones were released when SH Figuarts was still young and a brand new line, and therefore it's unfortunate that even though they, it was still a big step for them back then, the figures themselves now just not very good and not very accurate at all. So if you are a fan of Kamen Kuuga, you definitely want to pick this up. This is one of the coolest forms there is. In fact, I like all the forms, but this one's pretty good. Here's the thing, if you have Mighty and you have Ultimate and you're not really a big fan of Kamen Kuuga, you can probably skip this one because this one is a middle of the line form. But if you are a big fan of the older Heisei riders, then you probably want to pick this up as well. As Figure on his own, yeah, he's just a repaint pretty much of any other Mighty forms that have come out already, with a slight molding extra bit with his left leg also having a golden shin guard. His hands are molded slightly differently because they have to cut out a different Gorongi logo on his hand. So that's a bit different, not Gorongi logo, but different text logo on his hand. So technically the molding is a little bit different with his hands and his left leg. But that's pretty much it. They just mirror his right leg anyway. So yeah, cheap for Bandai to release, but damn it, if they release any more of these, I'd still churn up the money anyway. So a very nice looking figure, very awesome, very cool. I'm super biased. I recommend it, but if you're not a fan of Kamen Kuuga, then you can still see it's a really good figure, but you'll probably want to skip this and just stick to the main Rising Mighty and Ultimate form. Subscribe, suggestions, comment below, and guys, take care and have a nice day. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye now.